Hello, and welcome to the weekly moon update for May 15th through the 21st. We have a new moon week coming up with a new moon on Friday, and we also have some planetary shifts happening this week as well. So let's jump in to the moon energy first, and then we will talk about the planets. So I'm going to use a green marker this week because we are saying goodbye to Taurus season with this Taurus new moon. So at the beginning of the week, the light is going to continue to decrease. So we are slowly going to be coloring in all of the moon because we want to have a totally dark moon on Friday. So I've given you a example here. So you're just going to increase that the dark side and decrease the crescent side as you make your way through the week. I wish I had thought to use this light green marker earlier in Taurus season, but that's okay. So for the beginning of this week, we have a waxing crescent moon. And then we have the new moon on Friday. And now we're doing the opposite on the other side. So the light or the crescent is now going to be on the right side. And then we are darkening the left side. And we're still, it's still mostly shaded in, but you're just having that little peak of a sliver moon on the left side. And that is a waxing crescent. So we have a waning crescent, a new moon, and then a waxing crescent, because waxing means increasing and waning means decreasing. So hopefully you are going to be able to allow your energy to decrease this week along with the moon. So we're starting off bright and early with an Aries moon on Monday. This is a really nice moon to have on Monday, especially since our energy might be decreasing by the end of the week. So Monday and Tuesday is going to give you this opportunity to really have that burst of energy that you need to like finish up those last minute tasks or to-dos or deadlines or chores, so that by the weekend, hopefully maybe you're able to kind of chill out a little bit. So, and Aries, the moon enters Aries at 3:56 a.m. Monday morning. So hopefully, no matter what time your start of day is, you will have that Aries energy available to you right when you wake up. And I just like to get things done with Aries. I do usually need to make sure that I have a plan for Aries days because I have a lot of Sagittarius and Leo, and so that's just like a lot of fire going on. So on Aries days, I get this like extra burst of energy where I'm just like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. It's kind of like an ADHD thing. It's like I'm jumping from task to task and not actually finishing it. And Aries energy is the starter, the kickstarter, the beginning of spring. So it is pretty common for Aries to not finish a task. They're really great at starting new things and getting things going and jumping right in, but finishing it is like kind of an issue. So make sure that you have like the things that you want to accomplish on Monday and Tuesday so that you're taking that fire, harnessing that fire, channeling the fire into those things instead of instead of allowing that fire to be chaotic. Obviously, like this is specific to me because I have a lot of fire in my chart, but I find that it is specific to Aries energy too in general, simply because like on a Sagittarius day, I don't feel like that. On a Leo day, I don't feel like that. So on an Aries day, when I'm noticing that I'm like chaotic energy, I know that it's just like a different kind of fire energy. And then between 5:09 a.m. and 8:28 a.m. Wednesday morning, we're going to enter Taurus. So Taurus season, we are currently in Taurus season, and hopefully you've learned so far as we're nearing the end of it that this is like very slow moving, steady action. So if you had that burst of energy at the beginning of the week, now is the time to start slowing down, slowing your movements. And Taurus is really good about like self-care and taking care of their physical body as well as their physical tangible environment and finances. So because we're so close to the new moon, this might be a good time to practice your self-care, if you're able to. And if not, Taurus might give you that inspiration to schedule a massage, schedule a hair appointment, nail appointment, um, your nap, whatever, for the weekend. Uh, that way, that way you're able to have some downtime over the weekend. But Taurus is also earthy energy, is going to give us foundation. And again, that slow and steady movement. So allow yourself to keep like progressing towards things, but not like rushing. Even though you might feel like, oh, I have to finish things up before the new moon. Taurus is going to help you slow down and not be like running around crazy like Aries may have had. And then, okay, so we, at the very end of the Taurus moon energy and the end of the Taurus sun energy, we have the new moon at 11:53 a.m. on Friday morning. If you're doing any new moon things, you might want to do it Wednesday or Thursday because the moon is new or dark at 11:53 a.m. and then at around 2 o'clock p.m. or between 2 and 3 p.m. is when we're transitioning into Gemini. This again is the last Taurus energy during Taurus season because on Sunday we're going to shift into, the sun is going to shift into Gemini too. So this is an opportunity to harness this sun in Taurus and moon in Taurus energy. And because we had our second Aries new moon last week, I know I've said this a lot, so I'm sorry for repeating myself, but I think that this is like a really significant shift because now we are closing out a sun season with a new moon. So, how this is kind of shifting the energy is whatever came up on the full moon a couple weeks ago, which was a pretty turbulent full moon with a lunar eclipse. We're now using the full moon to highlight what we need to set intentions around for the new moon. So whatever came up for you, whatever realization you had, whatever thing that you decided to shift, change, or release within the last few weeks, now is the time with the Taurus moon to solidify that, to say, I'm committing to this. Let's do it, because we're going to be shifting out of Taurus energy into Gemini. You're still going to be able to use Gemini energy to commit and actually like voice with your vocal cords what you're committing to, or writing it down in stone, or communicating it to your partner, your loved ones, your friends, your family. Like, hey, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. Communicating to the universe. But for right now, with this new moon, this is solidifying your intentions that the full moon illuminated. So, not to jump too far ahead, but so what this means is like now we're going to go through Gemini season, just like we went through Taurus season, with an Aries new moon. Now we're going through Gemini season with a Taurus new moon, and this is giving us an opportunity to say, like, okay, what is Gemini energy for me? How do I relate to Gemini energy? The full moon in Libra is going to again illuminate something for us. And then the next 2 weeks are going to give us an opportunity to really uh, solidify and communicate like what that means and what our intentions are going to be. So versus like starting something new on a new moon, we're kind of using the entire cycle and the entire season to like figure out and pinpoint what that is. Like the beginning of the year was all about starting new things, getting things going. This is more about how do we maintain that energy? How do we like move through this energy? And you're probably not really starting new things around this time. So this is about like, okay, we've started something. How do we cultivate it? How do we grow it? How do we keep it going with our crops, with the plants? We planted something earlier in spring and now we are like, how do we keep it alive? How do we make sure that it continues to grow? And there is this like continual movement that's happening here. So again, the new moon is at 11:53 a.m. Friday. Then around 3 o'clock p.m. on Friday, we shift into Gemini. And then we will be in Gemini energy the end of Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. And then at the very end of the week, on Sunday, we move into Gemini season, meaning the sun will move into Gemini as well. So this is kind of introducing Gemini energy to us in a big way. Like the sun is introducing Gemini to us. And then once we figure out what that is, on the Cancer new moon is when we're like, okay, this is like the thing, this is the intention that I'm setting. This is the thing that I'm doing. So, to recap the elemental energy here, you want to use this fire energy at the beginning of the week to activate something, finish something up, get things going, get things moving, have your busy to-dos, your busy chores, your deadlines around Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is still like, if you can still set deadlines for Wednesday and Thursday, but there's not going to be as much like fast energetic movement going on because this is earth energy. So this is slowing down. Earth energy teaches us to be quiet, to be still, to kind of like observe, that sort of thing. And then we will shift into air energy for the weekend. And this is mental energy, thinking, communicating, talking, speaking. Uh, this is also like Gemini season is also like having fun. This is about, okay, we did all that hard work at the beginning of the week. Now it's time to play, because Gemini is able to have that duality, to be both and at the same time. Fire, earth, air. Okay, so we've already talked about the sun moving in to Gemini at the end of the week, but we also have Jupiter and Mars changing signs again this week. So Jupiter is moving into Taurus, and I think this is really significant for this close of Taurus season and this new moon in Taurus. So Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion. So I think that this is going to give us this feeling of optimism and belief that we can acquire the physical, tangible things that we set our mind to, that we set our goals to. Jupiter is the planet of luck, and Taurus likes to have like beautiful, nice, fancy things. And I just think that this gives this little like beautiful bubble to like manifest your dreams in, kind of like put your dreams into this like pot And like it gives it, I don't know, it just gives it this like nice little container to be like, hey, this is the perfect fertile environment for you to really set your intentions and set your goals and set them high. Set them maybe higher than you would, especially if you did some shadow work around self worth or um, how you speak to yourself, which is what we're focusing on in the planner for this new moon, is changing your way of thinking, your mindset, catching those negative thoughts and changing them, transforming them into more positive statements, I am statements, affirmations. So, because Jupiter and the moon are moving kind of into Taurus around the same time, or at least the same day, it's almost like Jupiter and the moon are just like ushering in this new moon. It's like this big kind of like congregation of planets. We also have Uranus and Taurus too, and Uranus is liberation and freedom. So this is like freeing yourself from those negative thoughts, those negative thinkings, or freeing yourself from the restrictions that society puts on you or other people put on you or whatever. Freeing yourself, liberating yourself to really believe in your own personal growth and expansion, whether that is material possessions or whether that is just financial abundance or just living a happier, more heart-centered life. Like at the beginning of the last month, we have really been talking about having a more heart-centered society, and Taurus being ruled by Venus is this very love-centered sort of energy. So it's like with Jupiter moving into Taurus now, it's like allowing for that heart opening energy and that belief and that concern for collective energy, concern for your heart, your own heart, but concern for everybody else's heart too. So this kind of like ushers in that energy for the new moon. And then Mars is going to move into Leo on Saturday. So right before the sun moves into Gemini, Mars is moving into Leo, and Mars in Leo is very, like, think of Leo as Leo's very loyal and regal and royal, and it's like this is a really wonderful concoction to be setting intentions and manifesting at this time, especially because we just left eclipse season. We did the work, we did the hard work, we did the shadow work, and we let that that volatile oil like bubble and boil. And now we're able to kind of like let things simmer a little bit, and we're like Jupiter's going to add luck to the pot, to the soup the manifestation soup that we're making. And Leo is going to bring that confidence and that pride and also action towards whatever it is that you are wanting to achieve. Like, because Leo demands respect. So it's like respecting yourself, respecting others. And then the Taurus energy is like loving yourself and loving others. So this is just a really beautiful like manifestation soup of luck and love and heart-centeredness and loyalty and commitment. And then Gemini is going to come in and communicate that to the world and express that in some sort of way. I really felt called to the Raise Your Vibration deck because it has a lot of wonderful like one-liner like affirmations kind of things, and that's the kind of energy that we want to like start off this moon cycle with, is just like having a positive outlook on things. And we got my high vibes heal the world. How beautiful is this message for all of this Taurus energy that we were just talking about? You are an incredible healer. The steps you are taking towards positivity and mastery aren't just healing you, they are healing the world. You are one with the world, one with life itself. What you do on the inside is what you are sharing with the outside. Just by being kind and loving towards yourself, you are living with higher purpose. This card is a message to keep on going. Sometimes you question if you are doing enough or making a difference, and today the universe wants you to know that you are. Didn't you set out on this path because you wanted to be a more positive person? Maybe a better partner, family member, or colleague? That in itself was a noble aim that has made a difference. Now you are sending out a tidal wave of love that is reaching far and wide across the grid of the universe. You are an angel on earth, making a difference to your own life and inevitably making a difference to the world. Your very presence is a blessing. Vibe of the day is my inner healing is healing for humanity. This is such a beautiful, wonderful message to be having after an eclipse season, of this reassurance that, like, good job, you did the work. You did the work, you did the thing. You're healing yourself. It's a work in progress, but we can always do more, but like keep going. Like don't stop. I think we forget that. Like I think we forget that by taking out time out for ourselves, that focusing on self-care is like taking away from something else. And it's not true. It's just simply not true. You're going to come back if you allow yourself to take a break on the new moon. You're going to come back to your job, to your family, to your friends in a more positive, productive, rested, rejuvenated, inspired way. We also have a soul star chakra card here. The events in your life, past, present, and future, are coming together right now in ways that you can recognize. And as you release your grasp on time and space in your spiritual development, you will be able to see the connections even more easily. Enjoy this new perspective and allow it to bring you a new level of peace. Focus your attention and intention on the intimate and subtle relationships among all things. As you gaze at life's unfolding from this space of heightened awareness, allow your knowing to deepen your compassion for others. I feel like, we can't make this up. These cards go beautifully together, and they go beautifully with the energy of this week, especially the Jupiter and Taurus energy that I was talking about. How I feel like Jupiter moving in Taurus is going to help us to start seeing and physically touching the things that we have been trying to manifest, or seeing the results, or at least seeing some progress. So I don't think there's anything else I can say about that. So I hope that you have a wonderful week. Hopefully I will see you on Tuesday for Tarot Tuesday. I will post these cards and the affirmation, or the vibe of the day, or whatever that it's called, so that hopefully you can start using this Gemini energy at the end of the week to really like say your affirmations. And that's the whole purpose of the what we have going on in here. The cognitive restructuring is changing your negative thoughts and making them positive. I know, and a lot of people have trouble or difficulty with affirmations because they don't yet believe the thing that they're saying. And it doesn't matter if you don't believe it immediately, like that. It's the repetition and the repetitiveness that is going to change the way that you are thinking, so that instead of having a negative thought first, you have a positive thought first. And or if you do still experience a negative thought, that you're able to combat it with this other positive thought. Replace it. You're like switch, bait and switch, or something like that. So anyways, thanks again. Have a lovely week. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. And hopefully I'll see you on the other side of the looking glass. Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion. There's a motorcycle driving by. I think that this Jupiter energy is going to give us this positive. All right, let's try this for the like fourth time. What am I saying? What are you doing over there? Huh? What are you doing? What you doing over there? Nothing but trouble. I think she was chewing on the paintbrushes, but she stopped because I caught her.